Dan, welcome to another episode of the MH Energy Exchange. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me back, Mike.
We had a nice discussion before about the convention. You were at the convention. You're an attorney here in town. You're with Koehler and Fitzgerald, and you've been with the State Central Committee, so you're really involved with Ohio politics. And we talked about this all of the above energy strategy that's part of the Republican platform. Where did that come from, and what are the Republicans getting at with that strategy?
Well, I think a lot of it comes from the fact that we believe it's important to become energy independent, that we're not dependent on the OPEC nations. We're not dependent on other places.
So what's driving even that? I mean, I'm old enough to remember the gas lines in the 70s and the Iran oil embargo. What is the problem with us getting energy from the Middle East?
Well, just that. I had an even license plate number, so I remember when I had to be in line. But I mean, I think that was just very illustrative of us being dependent someplace else. That if that oil gets cut off, what are we going to do? I mean, we couldn't fly. We had mostly then, I believe, coal-fired generators for electricity, and I think today it's mostly natural. It's more and more natural gas. But when you look at it at a state like Ohio, where 100 years ago, Ohio was one of the largest producers of oil. You've got that where you've got down in the southeast corner of the state, coal mining being so close to West Virginia, and now with the blessings of finding the Utica and Marcellus shale here, we have a chance with the fracking to put a blend together where we become independent, where we can put things together and have a policy that's an independence.
Right. So it was embargoes and gas lines back in the 70s. How does that play into the fight that we have right now with ISIS and terrorism? I mean, how does energy independence play into that?
It's even more so, Mike, because at any time, I mean, as we saw in some of the wars, where the first thing that's done is they go in and they'll blow up the oil terminals. They'll set fire to the oil fields and get rid of that. When we have that kind of independence, we don't have to worry about that as much. I mean, that's why the XL pipeline is part of this whole thing, the Keystone Pipeline, to be able to get that oil and gas. Plus, it creates jobs, and it becomes an economic driver.
So the Democrats talk a lot about global warming, they talk a lot about renewables. Is it possible to achieve energy independence without oil and gas and without developing our shale resources?
Is it possible? I think it's probably possible. I don't think it's feasible at all. And I think that's the issue. That's a bridge that you have to have. I mean, you look at Ohio, if you look at states being either fully sunny, like you have in Arizona, or completely cloudy, like you have in Alaska, I think Ohio comes out not partly sunny, but more partly cloudy. And if you need 4.3 kilowatt per, I think it's square meter to get to solar, we don't maybe have that all over the state, especially up here in Northeast Ohio. So that's why perhaps the wind then can come in. But we've got to find a balance, and I don't think you just make that one shift over. You take advantage of the two nuclear reactors we have up here on the North Coast. You take advantage of the fracking that's going on in the state, and hopefully you get a pipeline.
So do you think the energy issue is a winner for Republicans?
I do, but I mean, that's with extreme bias. I mean, I'm somebody who believes we should be all solar, all wind, looks at me and thinks I'm horrible, that I'm trying to ruin the planet with global warming, and that's not necessarily true. I think the jury's out on global warming. I think I would love to see just honest scientific approach, not people picking because they're going to say what they want them to say. I'd like to see just an honest study to see where we are and what kind of time we have on this.
Great. Well, I think we're out of time for today, but thank you for participating in the MH Energy Exchange.
Thank you, Mike.